Steel, heart of fire, vanquish doom, death inspire, blood moon rises, screams ignite, battle fierce, endless night.
Well, hello everyone. It is I, your boy Jotun Redwolf, back with more Curse of Strahd. So, when last we left our heroes, there is an X over chat. Look at that. I'll be. No, that is where the yeah, bad chat. No, that is where the our former 5th player was. They've parted from the campaign. We respect their wishes, and we wish them the best. But yes, when last we left our heroes, they found themselves split into 2 groups. One group wishing to investigate the Abbey of St. Markovia, way up upon the cliffs, overseeing the small village of Kresk. And upon lurking around, they discovered that the Abbey itself was not what it appeared at first. Creatures with animal-like features, twisted humanoids of sorts, were the primary occupants of this abbey. Down in the village of Kresk, others had intended to speak with the Burgomaster and find out if he was indeed what they believed him to be. With the party split, we return to the Abbey Warren, you and Grimm at the Abbey, but mostly for Warren's sake at this point. You are still standing there with the abbot and the stitched together woman in the red dress. The woman sits still, says nothing, lets out a small groan every now and again, but the abbot himself has voiced some statements that have made you a little uncomfortable. Is that correct?
Oh, yes. Yes.
The abbot stands before you, arms outstretched to his sides, and of course, we are here to ensure that Barovia is saved. And Vasilka is the key.
If you could just, mosey on and get me those potions, I'll greatly appreciate it.
Very well. Stay here. I shall return. And the abbot, he walks away. He walks away into another room. He leaves you in this small dining hall. And I apologize. I have to retcon where you were standing before. You were brought to a different part of the Abbey, but it's literally like the same portion of the Abbey, but mirrored. So you're in the room where they are. That was my mistake when I moved you around on the map.
No, you're good. I'm immediately gonna get on my mental walkie-talkie and talk to Grimm.
Okay.
And tell him that this place is a literal, pardon my French, fucking nightmare.
Oh yeah, I just saw a creature, and if I remember correctly, he was like a tall, lengthy guy with half of his brain sticking out, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely.
Oh, that's new.
Yeah, and I think there's like rooms that have these creatures locked in them, and this guy is just walking back and forth, patrolling.
Yeah, that's the work of the abbot. He's a psycho.
Oh yeah. Okay, so how are we going to tell the rest of our party that this abbot is way off his rocker?
Well, as soon as I get these potions, which I would have Araza check them out, because this guy's sketchy. As soon as I get these potions, we're gonna hightail it back to town, and we're gonna tell everybody, because the abbot has been desecrating the dead. He's been digging up graves and making really not so nice creations.
Yeah, we could tell the Burgomaster about it.
Oh yeah, he needs
And
to know. The Burgomaster is like a walk in the park compared to this sicko.
yeah, you get the potions. I will continue to just maybe see if I could scout out anything else, see if what else he has up his hidden in his like dungeon of doom. And then so if we're going to be like, okay, we're going to come in here and take out the abbot, we will know a little more what to expect.
Just be careful, stay on your toes, don't get in over your head.
Oh, if they see me and it's just one, and I'll try like take it out silently. If a ton see me, I am running away as fast as I can, because I'm not going to turn into that weird guy that has half his brain sticking out.
How good is your memory, Grimm?
Decent. I suck at names though.
No, that's fine, that's fine. Get as best of a memory of that fella's face that's missing part of his skull, because if the abbot's doing what he willingly told me all this, by the way, he willingly told me all this. If he's desecrating graves, the Burgomaster needs proof, and if we can describe that fella as best as we can, that's, better than nothing. We know where the noises are coming from, but
yeah, I will try to remember that guy's face. I think it'll be imprinted on my mind without me wanting it to. You remember the bride's face, because that could have been someone else's grave too that he took from. And then we got two faces instead of just one.
It's around this time that the abbot returns from one of the upstairs rooms. Clutched in his arms are 5 little poultices of a red liquid, and he smiles apologetically. I apologize, my son. This was all that I was able to gather. We haven't brewed many more in the last several days. I've been so engrossed with my work. Please, allow me to pray over them for you, and then they are yours to take.
All right. There's no trouble at all.
And he sets them out on the table, and he holds out his hands, palms facing the ceiling. Thank you for your gifts. Thank you for your warmth that touches us, shining down on land and sea, allowing all to grow and bloom. We honor you, Morning Lord, for you are the beacon who casts away the gloom. And we devote our days in your holy name, and the darkness we shun. And he looks very engrossed in what he's doing. He's eyes closed, and you see that as he's praying. Make a perception check for me really quick, Warren.
That's a 4.
Even with a 4, you notice that as he prays, you see Vasilka's head just kind of give a little nod, like she's used to this, and she's kind of like following along almost. And he says, "My son, these are yours to take. Please, go with the dawn."
And I'll just scoop them up and put them in whatever pouches or pockets I have, and just go to make my way out.
Okay, and the abbot walks alongside you and opens the door and lets you out. Please stop by any time. And I'll make sure that that they are well aware and apprised of your faces the next time you return, so that way you don't have such a harsh greeting.
And I just give him like a brief nod and make my way out.
He turns around. One more perception. What's your passive perception, Warren?
11.
11. As you leave, he turns around and says, "What a remarkable young man. Wouldn't you say, Vasilka?" He's certainly going to make someone very happy, and he closes the door.
Need to take a bath.
So, Grimm, you are deciding to continue to skulk around, or where are you going in terms of direction?
I'm going. There you go.
Yeah, I figured I'd make it a little bit easier on you, so you can give me at least a route in which you're following.
Okay. So I was there. And so as Warren's still where their pieces are right now, or did they leave outside yet?
Warren would have been. This is simultaneous. So as he's getting that you're moving around. So you're still within, I guess, brain shot of your telepathy.
Yeah, I got a mile.
Yeah.
So. Okay, I'll probably start heading up like to this window, checking in.
Okay.
Stealthily checking in there and just keep going up to the windows and just checking in. See what I see.
Okay. In each of the little rooms, as you peek into that one, the first room down here, you see that it was once a shared bed chamber, but all of the furnishings inside have been destroyed. They've been smashed, deliberately broken. You see that there are 3 shrieking creatures hanging around in the northeast corner, and one of them is cradling something shiny.
Can I see what the shiny thing is?
You'll have to make a perception check, but yes, you can.
Okay. 9. One sec. 14.
It is a polished brass candlestick, and it's kind of holding it like a baby doll. And it's like rocking it back and forth.
Okay. I'm going to use my bonus action to use the my psychic power recovery.
Okay.
So then I get to basically remove one of my used psychic dice, so I'll have 3 total left.
Okay.
And then I will stealthily move up to the next window.
Okay. The next window. Let's see. You see 4 misshapen creatures, and they're like wrestling around and screaming and hollering in this room. You see 4 of them fighting amongst themselves, and there's a 5th one that is cackling behind a life-sized painted wooden statue of a saint in robes.
Do any of them like look human or not at all?
They are all misshapen wretches. They all have
Okay.
either some animal trait amongst a humanoid trait. One of them, half of his face resembles that of a bear, and because of the muzzle, he cannot close his mouth fully, his human mouth fully, so he's constantly drooling. It's very odd to see, but yeah, all of these creatures that you've seen from the first and the second rooms, they are misshapen and warped.
Okay. I'll move to the next window. See what's in there.
Again, more of these mongrel creatures. This room holds 7 of them. And for reference, the squares are 10 feet. The squares are 10 feet. This is just as close as that I can get you onto the map. So,
Yeah.
they're seated in the middle of the room. They're kind of like forming a ring, and they appear to be chanting a spell.
Do I know the language of the spell?
Make an intelligence check or an arcana check. Either one is fine.
So it's arcana or intelligence?
Yes.
15.
15. As you're seeing that they're going through the motions of casting a spell, and they've got everything right except for the language, because from what you're able to pick up, they are speaking gibberish. They are trying to cast a spell speaking gibberish. They think what they're doing is going to work, and it's obviously not.
And they're like the mishmash of animals and human parts, or
Yes.
is it more of a human? Okay.
Yeah, all the creatures you've seen here are the misshapen kind. Yes.
Except the one that's half its brain sticking out.
Yeah, that one looks to be like an amalgamation of humanoid parts.
Okay. And that's a door, right?
That is a door.
Okay. I don't see any creatures or things walking around over here.
That is correct.
Okay. Boy. I will say into the mental link to Warren, should I try to head inside the building or stay outside?
Just scope the place as best as you can. If you absolutely have to go in there as you're making your rounds, just don't bring attention to yourself.
Okay, I'll start heading back towards this window.
Okay.
And I will sneakily look inside to see if I could see that half brain guy still walking around.
Okay. If you're gonna try to do that stealthily, I want you to make me a stealth check and then a perception check.
Okay. I am definitely using a psychic die on that one because I rolled really badly. Do you do ones are automatic failures or no?
Ones are not crit fails on skill checks. You don't crit fail
Okay.
on a skill check. So it's like whatever your low, like it's gonna be your lowest possible score, I'm sure, but what you have to just give me the result.
Okay. 5. I got a 12 and I used a psychic power die. Did I pass the check?
The 12 is with the psychic power die?
Yes.
No. No.
Okay.
No, you did not pass the check. So
Okay.
you peek inside. Well, that was for your stealth check, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So as you're stealthing around on the outside, the snow is a little slippery, and you're trying to stay close to the wall so that way no one like peeks out directly from the windows to see you. And your foot slips a little, and you brace your hand on the sill of the window, and you take notice of the fact that as you've done that, the same creature from before starts to make its way from this hallway and works its way towards where you are, towards the window.
Okay, then I will move up there to try get out of the line of sight,
Okay.
and then just wait and listen. Can I like hear him making his way over?
Yes, you can. You hear
Okay.
him. He's not in any position to be stealthy himself with as large as he is. He shuffles, and you hear him clatter against the wood. That's kind of just broken pieces of table and chairs that he manages to kick with his feet. And he presses his face up against the pane of the window, and you see that his face is almost like preserved leather, and you see that there's like a glass dome almost over top of his exposed brain, from what you can see from where he's at. But as he peers out, what was the total of your stealth check from before?
It was a 12.
A 12. Okay. He gets to here, and he looks out, and probably something with the way that his face is shaped. He glances over, and upon some intuition, he steps back from the window. And in an instant, you see this large hand come barreling through the window, glass embedded in his hand, as he starts reaching blindly around the corner for you.
Okay.
So I'm gonna roll to attack, and then we'll see. You can escape. But he's gonna try to roll to attack to hit you.
While you're rolling to attack, I'll just mentally say to Warren, I think I might be in trouble. I might have to run for my life. Don't do anything right yet.
Okay, so it has a +7 to hit, but I rolled a 2 on the die. I rolled a 2 on the die, so it's a 9. I don't think a 9 hits you.
No.
So this stitched together hand with fingers that are oddly shaped, probably not the right finger for the right digit, but placed in that position, reaches out and tries to snatch at you. And you press yourself more against the wall, and maybe you even flatten yourself into the snow to just kind of get away from his grasp. But he does reach for you, and he's making inhuman noises, and he can't seem to grasp at you. So what do you do? What do you do, Grimm?
Okay, so I will kind of just step over here-ish. I think I should be able to get a good line of sight onto the creature, and I'm just going to say screw it and throw my psychic dagger at him.
Okay. He does have half cover because of the tightness of the window, so he only just gets a slight bonus to his AC. So it's a +2 to his AC. His armor class is 9, so it's technically only an 11. So you could probably still hit him.
I just got an 11.
Well, you hit. You hit.
Okay. And there's no sneak attack with this.
No, he knows right where you're at.
Okay.
Like he's locked on you.
4 plus 3. 7.
7 points? Okay. And that is psychic damage?
Yep.
Okay.
And I will hit him again, hopefully with my bonus action.
Go for it.
Yeah, that definitely hits with 12 plus 5.
Gotcha.
That's a 17. And then it'd be a d4 with another 6 points of damage.
6 points. Got it. Damage taken. Yeah, it gets blasted by your psychic blades, and he groans and tries to reach further through this window. Were he a smaller creature, he would have scrambled out, but you see that he's trying to fit one arm through and his head through as well, and because he can't get to you directly, he slowly starts to force his body, and you can see the stitching and the webbing and the metal sinews that they've used to keep this creature together. They start he's almost ripping himself at the seams to get to you.
Okay. So is it my turn to attack again?
It is. But you hear that as he's making noise, the noises from these adjacent rooms gets louder, and you're make an insight check for me.
Insight. 6. I got 8.
8 total. You're under the belief that with this much noise, someone's going to come to investigate. And Warren, as you're leaving,
I was just gonna ask if I heard
you
that
hear
just
all
as
of
I was
this.
leaving.
You hear all of this. Like you're hearing the roaring and the screaming. I don't know if you heard the glass shatter, but you do hear the yelling and the groaning, and you're pretty sure, Warren, that sound travels, and it's probably going to travel to the room in which you had just left.
I mentally messaged Grimm. Is that you?
I will respond and go, yes, and I'm making too much noise, so I am going to be fleeing. We should meet back up with the rest of the party at the house, and then we could go from there. And hopefully nothing terrible happens.
All right, so I'll just head back the way that I came then.
Okay, so you're going back down the switchback path down towards Kresk, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, does the abbot come out to inspect the noise? Because I'm sure that that gets his attention if it got my attention.
Well, I'm letting, again, this is all kind of like happening simultaneously. Like, you hear the sound, you're having this telepathic conversation. You're fairly convinced that the abbot would be out there. He would be making his way out there soon. Are you waiting for the abbot?
Well, I figure, like, for time's sake and everything, like, how everything kind of progressed, like, I leave the room, I hear the noise, and I'm probably, like, of course I'm gonna act startled.
Mm-hmm.
And I might even just peek back through the door, because I just left the door. It's like, something's happening.
You say that to the abbot, like, once you're, like okay.
Like, someone's causing a ruckus, and I don't think it's any of your other friends.
Oh,
It doesn't sound like your other friends.
oh heavens. Well, he must have found another rat. Well, one moment, and he gives Vasilka, like, he brushes her hair behind her ear, and he whispers something to her. And he starts making his way this way. Maybe. I can move him. Goodness, thank you for telling me. I'll go look at once. It seems my sentry might have located something. And he starts heading that way.
I'm going
Go ahead, Grimm.
Once I said I am running, I will take off and hop over the wall there.
Okay.
And then make my way down there and around to leave.
Okay, so you're following like the little drainage path that meets the wall from the hill, right?
Yeah, and
okay.
try and stay out of sight.
Okay, just give me one stealth check, and then Warren, how are you? You said you're leaving the same way. Are you going at any fast pace, or are you going at a normal pace?
I'm gonna, like, with all that noise, like, I'm trying to act as natural as possible. like, oh, I don't know why that noise is happening. Like,
oh no,
like,
what a strange noise!
But I am gonna kind of walk a bit briskly.
Okay.
Like, okay, there's weird noises going on, like, weirder than usual, like, than what we heard the night before and what we identified earlier. So it's just like, I got the potions. I want to get out of here.
Very well.
I want to get as far away from this place as possible for a time being.
What's the result of your stealth check there, Grimm?
I used the psychic die and I rolled 2 1s, so the total is a 9.
A 9. You're still a little startled. You're still a little startled from the creature. You were more concerned with safety than subterfuge.
Puking.
And you once you jump over the wall, like you're like scrambling on all fours to just get away. You're trying to stay low on the wall, but it's not a fantastic stealth check. In fact, as Warren is passing part of the wall to meet up to where you two would naturally encounter one another, he sees your back for the most part. Like, he just sees like the hint of your back as you're making your way across. But the two of you make it back to the switchback path and begin to head back down into the village of Kresk. But seeing as we are going back to the village of Kresk, we're going to hop back to our other companion for a moment, if that's okay.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Oh, we don't need him on the screen right now. Sorry, guys. I'm going to try to remove him the best I can. There we go. Wonderful. We return to the village of Kresk, where Jymbo and Araza and Argon are staying. Argon excuses himself to attend to preparing a prayer for the Burgomaster's child, leaving Jymbo and Araza within the Burgomaster's mansion. What did the two of you do while you're there? You've been given breakfast.
Is Burgomaster still in the room?
Yes, he is.
At this point, how long has it been since we last saw our companions?
Probably about an hour.
Would it be reasonable to suspect, like, a trip to and from the Abbey would be about that long?
No. Probably a trip to. Granted, it does go up a cliff face and it is icy, so they were probably taking a little bit of care to not slip and fall. It's probably less than a 20-minute walk.
Okay, so, I guess I'm not in a hurry to leave if I think that they're not quite done yet or back at the house.
I don't know. The question
Just looking
remains,
around
like,
the
did they tell you guys that they were going up there? I think they did. I thought they did.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you there, Star Kitty. Go ahead.
I was just looking around the room to see if I can find anything to talk about.
He has many bottles of wine. He doesn't keep them in a wine cellar, although his house does have a wine cellar adjacent. You see old vintages, and you see that there are portraits. Like, there are portraits on the walls. You see a portrait of him and his wife and his son. And you see that there are portraits of other children as well. But the youngest of which looks to be a young man about maybe 14 years of age. And it is probably one of the more recent portraits that were done.
Gotcha. As much as I would like to ask about his family, I know that's probably a sore subject for him right now.
Besides that, I mean, his home is obviously it's only slightly larger than any of the other homes in Kresk. He doesn't have a fancy manor, despite having a fancy title. He lives about as modestly as the rest of the citizenry here.
Gotcha. I do say to the Burgomaster, give my regards to the cook. This was a very lovely breakfast. Thank you for having us.
I thank you for humoring me. Again, I do apologize for coming off as I suppose I was a little rude, but we don't get many visitors, and the visitors that we have gotten have not been pleasant. We never know who's serving as extra eyes for you know who.
I see. When was the last time Kresk has seen visitors?
Outside of our normal deliveries, you mean?
Yes.
He thinks back for a moment. We get shipments from Vallaki. We haven't really had many visitors. I can't recall, to be honest with you. I apologize. I can't
No
recall the
worries.
last time we've had visitors that weren't from around here.
time passes differently for everybody.
Indeed.
Is there anything else you think we should know about traveling around this lovely country?
Well, I would say be mindful of madmen in the mists, but that's a common saying around here. But since you're not from around here, take that one with you. What would you like to know? There's plenty to tell.
So, pulling out the map again.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember if I asked him this already, but how many days is it between here and Vallaki?
He tells you it's a couple days travel. It's a couple days travel. Like at least three to 4 days.
3 to 4 days, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd have to be prepared to sleep outside. And based on what you were saying. All right. It's good to know. Need to prepare the team. How many days travel between Kresk and the biggest city in this country? Which I think would be the capital.
Oh, but that would be Barovia itself. That would also be 1 mile of a trek. Longer than an actual mile, of course. And he ponders it over for a moment, trying to get his bearings and think the last time he visited Barovia, how long did it take him to get there and what have you. You're looking at probably over a week.
Okay. So I'm going back and looking at the map. I mean, let me actually pull up the map. You said it's under journal? Yeah.
Yes, it's under journal.
Are there any paths on here that we should look to avoid?
Paths to avoid. A very good question. I would say, well, you've already made your way down to the winery, so that's a road that you've familiarized yourself with. There's a lake to the north. There's a strange tower up there. There are whisperings and musings about what goes on in that tower, but I wouldn't advise heading up towards Lake Baratok. However, Lake Zarevich is rather peaceful.
What kind of whisperings and musings about that tower in Lake Baratok?
There's a madman who lives there, and he performs experiments of sorts. Pretty sure he's some kind of shape changer, but that's don't alarm my citizenry with that one, please. That rumor gets mulled around more often than you think.
Understood.
And the height of discretion.
Jymbo, I don't think Jymbo's the height of discretion at all. This place is cursed. It's just
I agree. He certainly is not.
But also, if you're traveling, I would stick to the roads. Traveling through the woods themselves, and I know you probably think that I myself am a madman for saying so, but there are wolves in the woods, and there are werewolves there as well.
I mean, I got this spoon I sharpened. We can probably take a werewolf.
Is it made of silver?
Yeah.
Did he sharpen the round
you
end or did he
sure?
sharpen the handle?
Oh, obviously the round end.
Okay.
Did you sharpen or polish?
You
He
know, a
sharpened
little
the
bit of
entire
both.
thing.
He made a spork.
Yeah, at that point it's a spork. He's out there sporking werewolves, guys.
Well, if he carves ridges in one side, it's a knife
It's knife, yeah.
with spoon, fork, and a knife.
It's the multi-tool. It's what it is. He's made a silver multi-tool. But the Burgomaster tells you that on your way to Barovia, if that is where you are headed, if you follow the river, there's a waterfall that's Sarah Falls. And if you are traveling, please do be mindful of the Vistani. They come and go as they please.
Oh, we've already met the Vistani.
Yep. I
They're,
think they're the reason why we are here.
oh goodness. Well, if they've brought you here, then they've done so with purpose. But it's hard to say. There are so many there's so many castes of Vistani that make their way through Barovia and the following lands. We tend to encounter them on the roads if we've traveled, but we haven't traveled in such a long time that I haven't seen any of their colorful wagons. They're the most colorful things in this steely gray exterior.
So, question for you, DM.
Yes.
Looking at the map, the big map, where was the winery?
The
Wizard's
winery. The Wizard's Winery is south. So let me pull up the map here so I can read it along with you guys. So map, journal. So Strahd's map. The winery, if you follow that first path, you see the Raven River, you see Kresk up here at the top. You follow the river, that first southernmost road all the way down to this area here, that first split in the road. So you have you
followed the dotted lines all the way down?
Halfway down, because where it splits from there, that's the winery.
Okay. So, asking the Burgomaster again, how familiar are you with these lands?
Well, I'm as familiar as any old soul who's traveled between one village to another in the safety of a carriage. But I've done so on horseback before. What can I help you with? What can I do?
Let's see. I'm looking at this lovely map. I do see some other landmarks on here that aren't necessarily marked. See, like right next to where it's actually written Luna River.
Yes.
It looks like there's a building of some sort.
Building?
Not too far from it.
And he leans over and you see him for the first time. He reaches into his coat and he pulls out his little spectacles to kind of get a better look at it. Oh, that would be I believe that's it's Argynvostholt. It's an ancient area. A mansion once stood there. It was a refuge of a knightly order, I believe.
Ooh, all right. And you said a mansion used to stand there?
Indeed. Some horrible tragedy had befallen it, but unfortunately I don't know what the details of that tragedy are. Tragedy seems to go hand in hand with historical incidents in Barovia.
Understood. So it's not haunted or anything like that, or maybe cursed?
I wish I could tell you, my dear, but unfortunately I don't know. All I know is that order is no longer prevalent here in Barovia. Order of, and he steps away like briefly, and he checks a desk off in the corner, and he rummages through some papers. And you can tell that he's sifting through some much older ones. The Order of the Silver Dragon.
Order of the Silver Dragon. I'll make a note of that. Let's see. And the only other question I have for you, sir, regarding this map is, you continue following, is that old Sovlak Road?
The Old Svalich Road, yes.
Yeah, Svalich Road. You keep following that. It looks like there's a gate. And then from that gate, it forks off to like another building. Probably to the northwest of the village of Barovia.
To the northwest, just north of the of Sarah Pool. Yes, give me a moment. That would be. That would be Castle Ravenloft.
Castle Ravenloft, huh?
And that is where Count Strahd makes his home.
Good to know. Jymbo, make a note. We need to avoid this place.
Got it. Head to Castle Ravenloft.
Yes, the opposite of what you said. All right. One more question for you.
You have all of my time. You have all of my time, my friends.
Have you ever left Barovia yourself?
And make an insight check, Araza.
Insight. $24.
The Burgomaster goes to answer. He opens his mouth, and you've seen this before. Like most people, they have a thought, and the thought just fully escapes them, and then it never circles back to their front of their memory. You can see that he had an answer for you, and it's completely gone. I don't think I've... No, why would I leave? Why would I try to leave? I've born and raised here.
I was asking to see if there was a possibility that myself and my friends would be able to escape the mist back to our home.
And he returns to sit at the table with all of you, and he hums slightly in thought. Well, I wish it was as easy as just taking the road home. But no one leaves Barovia.
With the exception of the Vistani?
And he nods. He says, though there is one that you could speak to. Her name is Ava, Madam Ava. She is one of the Vistani, and she holds a great deal of influence and some say mystical power. If anyone has a way to get out of Ravenloft, or Barovia. It would be her. She would know. But that's
You
the...
know where we could find Madame Ava?
Oh, goodness. Well, the Vistani come and go. They come and go with the wind. Let me see. And he says, let me go and ask one of my guardsmen and see if they've heard anything. Give me one moment, and I'll return post haste. And he stands up from the table and he walks outside. And you know, Kresk is not a huge place. It's not a massive village, and you hear him talking to someone outside. And he brings the young man in. He says, "Boris, go, please tell them where you last heard that the Vistani were camped." "Oh yes, they were camped at the Serre Pool. They stay near the waterways. So if you're looking for them, maybe stay near the water. Ponds, pools, rivers, things like that." "Well, thank you, Boris," and he excuses the man.
Stay near
So-
the water.
They're very aquatic people. Got it.
Well, you know, travelers need fresh water. Speaking of, do either of you need to refill any of your water skins? We have some of the freshest water in Barovia.
Yes, we should probably refill our water skins.
That sounds like an excellent idea.
And he goes ahead and he motions for you to follow him. There's a pool at the north end of the village. This pool up here. It is fresh water throughout the year, or as the Burgomaster tells you. And next to the pool itself is a small shrine. And Araza, if you'd care to make a religion check, I could tell you perhaps what the shrine is of.
That's a 22.
22. It is a shrine to the Morning Lord, Lathander. And it's built in a little gazebo. It's built in a little gazebo over here. And the Burgomaster tells you that this is our shrine, seeing as the Abbey of St. Markovia is associated with that of the Morning Lord. We too venerate the Morning Lord. Although the sun doesn't tend to shine much here, this is the brightest light that we tend to get. But it is known as the Shrine of the White Sun.
Nice shrine. How long has it been here?
Oh, for many, many years. My grandfather's grandfather, I believe. So several generations at least.
Is this like blessed water or something?
We'd like to think it is blessed, yes.
Because I hear that's real good against werewolves.
Well, we don't let them get close enough to to get in to try the water. So I don't know how effective that is, but I might take your word for that. As you're with the Burgomaster, it's at this time that Warren and Grimm are making their way back down the switchback of the mountain.
And Warren's pissed. His fists are clenched and he's making his way. Because I'm sure we see them.
Yeah, if they're over by the gazebo, like, you guys are coming down, you're over here. but Araza and Jymbo are over here. So you can see across the way, and it's not hard to make out your shapes along the mountain pass, because there's snow, and you guys are not wearing white clothing to blend in, so you kind of stand out as travelers coming down the hill. But yeah, like, unless Araza and Jymbo are like actively looking for you guys, you know, eventually they'll see you when you make your way over.
I'm too busy looking at the water. It's making sure it's clean.
It is clean.
Probably
Probably.
was just marveling at the water. Sorry, didn't mean to.
No, you're fine. It is indeed a marvel. The water is crisp. The water is clear. And even under the gray skies, the water shimmers and sparkles. It looks majestic. Probably the cleanest water you've ever seen.
This water looks very pure.
Indeed. It's fed from an underground spring, and long ago, the saint of the Abbey had blessed it.
So it is blessed water.
Well, that was long ago. I don't know how long blessings stay, but yes, that's why I said we believe so. Now, as you look at the gazebo itself is in a state of disrepair, mainly because they probably don't upkeep it very often, but it does still hold the sigil and whatnot of the Morning Lord. There's a wooden statue of a mournful, bare-chested man. The paint is chipped and faded, and it stands in the gazebo with its arms outstretched as though waiting to be embraced. And from the looks of things, Jymbo, go ahead and make a perception check for me, please.
That is an 8.
An 8. A strong wind would knock this gazebo over.
I think your gazebo has seen better days.
Oh, indeed, but we don't really have the craftsmen to keep it up. But it seems
Are Grimm and I already there?
Oh, you guys spot Araza and Jymbo, and I assume you're both making your way right there, correct?
I thought we were already there.
Yeah, you draw upon them at this point. Yes, you're all together.
Okay. I'll take one of the empty barrels they had and fill it with questionable holy water.
Yeah, have you guys seen this anti-werewolf water? It's fantastic.
This is the cleanest water I've seen in a long time.
You know what's not clean? The Abbey.
What, do they have an infestation of some sort?
Oh, there's a heap of untoward things happening up there. Know where the
Abbey?
spooky ass sounds are coming from? Yeah, he's messing with the dead.
Oh yeah.
He's desecrating the dead here, and he's not a good guy.
Wait, they're dead? I thought they were just some angry folk that were cursed.
There are
Burgomaster.
some mongrel people that he has punished for not using the right manners, and he made a hodgepodge woman for Strahd.
A hodgepodge woman. Okay, I'm sorry. Continue. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's not all. He took, if I remember correctly, the count. There's like over 10 hodgepodge creatures, part animal, part man, that are just jumbled together. There's at least 10 of them. Then this one, like, giant hulking man of this Frankenstein together person that has half of his brain exposed, that's covered in a dome, that is basically the sentry that he has there. He is messed up.
So they're Frankenpodging people together out of dead people?
Yeah, the dead people from the cemetery here.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh, is it from here? The cemetery is, and he, you see the Burgomaster. He's like frantic, and you see him like kind of skirt off to go check something.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and follow him because that seems kind of important.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow
Yeah,
him too because his son
What about his son?
just recently died and they haven't buried him yet.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
So
yeah. As I follow, ask, what does the sun look like?
and he says he was he's he's just reached the age of 14. Dark curled hair, very angled features, really resembles his mother. And you could see the Burgomaster is trembling. He's just frantic and upset, and his pace is quickened. It's quickened to the pace where he slips in the snow and stumbles, but then like rights himself immediately and keeps going, as if the embarrassment of slipping and falling in snow it's completely lost on him. There's no embarrassment. He just continues, and he makes his way to one of the coffin makers, and he pushes open the door, does not even greet the man, and heads back towards the back end of the shop. And in a pine box is this young man. And the Burgomaster, he collapses to his knees and he lets out a relieved sigh, and he rests his hands on his face, and he's just trembling.
Are there any people that monitor the cemetery?
Who are you asking this to?
Well, probably not the Burgomaster because he's having a moment. So I'm gonna talk to the guy who makes coffins because I'm sure he goes to the cemetery often to know if there's some sort of patrol or anything of that nature.
Well, the cemetery, we take a wagon every now and again and go up the switchback, and it goes up to the Abbey. It's the only consecrated ground around here.
And have you noticed any graves disturbed recently?
The old man shakes his head. He's like, I haven't made that trek since I slipped and broke my leg a couple summers back. But hold up. And he goes and he goes into an adjacent room where, as he opens the door, you hear like the slight pounding of hammer and nail. And he's like, "Hey, come on up here," and brings in another young man. You seen anything about graves getting dug up and stuff? And young man just shakes his head and looks to the rest of you and kind of shrugs.
Well, Would you remember anybody who was buried within the last maybe couple years or so? When I describe the woman that the abbot made and see if that freshens up any memories. Like any of her features that I remember, like any strong features.
Okay. You do your best to describe it, and I mean you even give like the most implicit details. And the young man again, he shakes his head and shrugs again. And he holds up a finger like, hold on a moment, and he goes in and he grabs a tablet, and he starts scribbling down on it. And he just writes "who" on this tablet.
I will then describe as much as I can, because the guy's half his head was gone, about the guy that I saw. Maybe they recognized him, or someone else could recognize him.
And you describe it, and even the old man, he's like, no, I'm sorry folks, that don't seem to be ringing any bells. I'm sorry we ain't got the information you're looking for, but if someone's tampering with the graves, I mean, I'd talk to the abbot about it.
Well, the abbot's the one that's been doing it.
Yeah.
He been, and the silent young man just looks surprised, his eyes go wide. It's like that. I mean, the abbot's been here a while. I don't. Well, you seen him do it.
He told me he did it. He's made a wife for Strahd out of parts of dead women.
He made a creature that tried to claw my head off and force its way out of a window that was too small, that he was basically pushing himself through the window and breaking apart at the seams.
What is everyone's passive
yeah.
insight? What is everyone's passive insight?
Passive insight.
13.
15.
Hold on. $13.
Jymbo, what's your passive insight, friend?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's 10.
10. Okay. And Araza, yours is 15.
Yes, correct.
You, as Warren and Grimm are describing this, you can see that there is visible panic on the faces of not just the coffin maker, his worker, and the Burgomaster. There is like a panicked look on their face, like they're extremely scared. And they look like they're just, it's like they look like they're gonna throw you guys out for causing panic.
We're just making you aware of what's literally in your backyard. Would your whatever deity you believe in, would they allow this to happen?
Oh no, no, scary things happen all the time. This is hearsay and gobbledygook. Just nope. And the guy's like, oh, y'all gotta go. You gotta go. Get on out.
Everybody take a breath. Calm down. Breathe. Take a breath in, and let's take a breath out.
Go ahead and make a persuasion while you do that, please.
Persuasion. Let's see. That's a 19.
19. Okay. The young man, he he takes a deep breath, and the old man, he kind of sits down, and he puts his head in his hands, and the Burgomaster stands up and places a hand on his shoulder. He's like, and they're ready to listen to you there, Araza.
All right. We've all been through a lot over the last few days, especially myself and my companions. And, well, take this one step at a time, shall we? Burgomaster. How long has the abbot been a part of your abbey?
Let's see. He's been here for... Well, my father knew, and my grandfather knew. And over a century ago, I would assume, but he hasn't aged a day.
That's kind of odd. Is he like an elf or a dwarf or something?
Warren, from what you've seen, he appears human.
He looks as human as I am.
Burgomaster.
Oh boy.
Yes.
I recall you telling me that there was a gentleman that lived in a tower not too far from here.
Oh, yes. Some mad researcher, yes.
Do you think they could be one and the same person?
The researcher and the abbot? Oh, heavens, no. The abbot comes down from time to time to visit the shrine, and really only demands tithe in the form of wine every now and again, but no, heavens, no. The abbot rarely leaves the abbey.
When was the last time anybody's seen this researcher in the tower?
Everyone just kind of shrugs. They don't know. They can't recall.
All right. So, Burgomaster, this is your lovely village. What would you like to do?
Oh, the abbots performed funerary rites for our people and my children and soon to be my son. I would hope, and he I find it very hard to believe. I'm not discounting what you're saying, and he makes this mention to both Grimm and Warren. It's like, I'm not trying to discount what you saw or what you say you saw, but the abbot has done no harm to anyone in my village, and I shudder to believe that taking bodies? That's inhuman. I can't fathom that thought. And he kind of retches a little bit, and the old man gets up and grabs him like a wet rag of something to just kind of like hold over his mouth. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to speak for the Burgomaster, but the abbot helped perform the rites for Matilli some years ago, and he's a kind man. He's a good man. But I mean, I guess every coin's got two sides, don't it? And even he just kind of like looks down at the floor, like, floored in disbelief.
When was the last time anybody from this village has gone to the Abbey?
Oh, no. No one visits the Abbey anymore. the funerary rites are performed, and then that's very much it. With the
If
inconstant ringing of the bell at the Abbey, it's always at odd times, day and night. And as you guys are speaking, as if the mere mention of it has brought it to life, you hear the Abbey bell ringing, and you again hear the hoots and hollers from far up on the hill. And whereas it seems like the people of Krezk have ignored this sound, that fresh sound causes the three men in the room to just kind of like shudder and jolt a little in surprise.
So, Burgomaster, we do not want to cause panic in your village. So right now, the only people that know this information, myself, my companions, you, and the other 2 people in this room.
Yeah. Yes.
So until we can confirm, or you can confirm what my friends are saying, I suggest we keep this information to ourselves for now. Is that acceptable, sir?
The Burgomaster nods. Yes. And he looks to the old man. He's like, might it trouble you if Elia? And the man shakes his head. He says, he's safe here. I won't load him up on the cart and send him up. And the Burgomaster, he shakes his hand. Thank you. And he stands and he goes to compose himself, and he says, "Oh, I will need a stiff drink after this. What is it that?" And he looks to the 4 of you. What is it that you would do?
I have an idea.
I just want to mention that according to the abbot, he is the only one that is keeping the mongrels in check. So if the abbot suddenly is gone with any reason, whether it's our intervention or his own, there is a decent head of those mongrel up at the Abbey.
You yourself, Warren, and based upon, I assume that Grimm and Warren talked back and forth on the way down from the Abbey. There are at least 90 of these creatures, because a lot of them are packed into rooms, and just the sheer cacophony that they emit, for it to carry far from the top of that cliff face down to the village, there's at least a score of them.
And about how many people are in Kresk?
Probably half that, maybe 3/4 of that. If the mongrels got loose, the people here would be outnumbered, for sure. The people here would be outnumbered.
Yeah, we need to be very, very careful in how we approach this situation.
Yes, I completely agree with you, Warren.
I have an idea. How about, Burgomaster, you go back home, you calm down, you have a drink, try to think of what you want us to do. We will go back home, we will discuss with ourselves, what we think is the best plan of action, how to solve this problem. And in an hour, you could come back to our place, and then we could sit and discuss exactly what our plan that we came up with and what you want to do, and then we could then figure out a way to take care of the problem that we have.
Where's Argon?
Oh, he left to do some right. He was going to
Yeah,
do something for Elia.
Yeah, Argon was gonna say a prayer. Jymbo, did you say which direction Argon went?
Actually, I wasn't paying any attention. I apologize.
I knew you should have saved your silver pieces for that.
Well, I mean, I was pretty busy carving that spoon, my spork, during the meal.
This is true. That spork can come in handy.
But as you notice that Argon is not around, the Burgomaster and the others, they kind of actually, everyone make a perception check for me, please. An active perception check.
Perception.
22.
12.
5.
17.
Okay. Grimm and Jymbo, more so Jymbo, but you notice that at the mention of Argon, the recollection crosses the Burgomaster's face, and it appears as if he's forgotten entirely. Oh yes, your other friend. They.
Yes, Argon, the Dragonborn.
Who?
Argon? You know, scaly fellow, holy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not recalling. They were with you?
It's all right, Burgomaster. You've had a lot of information in the last 30 minutes.
Yes, I have.
It's best you go get yourself some wine. And I look at the other two that are in the room. It's like, remember, no words about the Abbey outside of this room.
And you're looking to the coffin maker and the young man?
Yes.
Yeah, and they nod. And the old man helps the Burgomaster to stand up and ushers him and escorts him to the door and kind of pats him on the back, and the Burgomaster gives him a hug. The Burgomaster gives this man a hug. And you all hear him say as he sniffles, he's like, "Please look after my Elia for me. He's in good hands. I'll keep an eye on him." And he pats the man on the shoulder, and the Burgomaster starts to meander back to his home. A slow, ponderous trod through the snow towards a lonely little cottage. What do the four of you do?
I hate to say this, but I think Argon might be in some trouble at this point.
I think so too.
And I reckon it probably involves that Abbey.
Warren, Grimm, did either one of you see Argon on your way down?
No, he definitely sticks out. I definitely would have seen him.
Is
Yeah, I didn't see him either.
is anyone trained in survival?
Me.
I think I am. Yeah. Or no, that's just never mind. I'm not.
Okay.
Nope.
Grimm, you were not trained in survival?
Nope.
Okay. Warren, make a survival check for me, please.
Man, my dice are hating me tonight. 8.
So with an 8, there are too many footprints in the snow. People who mull about through the village of Kresk, footprints of travelers such as yourselves that seek out the safety of the safety and comfort in knowing that a loved one has not been sent to somewhere where their body might be used for some odd experiment. The snow itself is it's not fallen in a while, but the pristine white is marred with the muddy brown of heavy boots, horse hooves, and it's so very easy to lose sight of a pair of boots belonging to a paladin that has left the village of Kresk through the main gate. But that information remains lost on the four of you. You consider for a moment that your friend, your companion, was with you. I need everyone to make a wisdom save, please.
Oh, wisdom what?
A wisdom save.
Oh, wait.
22.
22.
21.
15.
Grimm, the memory is fresh. It's at the forefront of your mind. You're speaking of them now. But who were they? You don't remember. You can't even remember how tall they were, or color of their skin. Was it red? Was it perhaps a faded orange? Or was it... You can't remember. And the fact that you can't remember and you try to pull on that memory like a balloon on a string pulled taut by the wind, and the only thing holding that memory is the light grip of a child's hand. The wind is too strong, and that memory is gone forever. Jymbo, Warren, and Araza, you still remember. You know that they were here with you. They traveled with you. For you, the memory is not gone. But it is questionable in your minds for a moment. Almost as if something is trying to rip that thought from you. but you remember it, you cling to it, you hold it close, because something about that memory is a memory from home, and not this place. But I think this is a good place to take a break. And we can pick up after the break where you guys are making your plan. Does that sound good for everyone?
Yeah, sounds
Yeah,
good
that
to me.
sounds great.
Okay. So we will adjourn for a moment, and we will return shortly. So everyone feel free to enjoy your break, and we'll be right back. And we're back. Welcome back, everyone. Caffeinated Zombie, thank you for the follow. Druid, also thank you for the raid. And Sunshine, thank you for the resub. Oh, hi, welcome back. Thanks, Vlad. So the four of you return back to the home that the Burgomaster had granted you for the time. The Vladova home. And you again, you're I don't know if you're walking in silence or if you're conversing as you're going, but it seems as if like even the crunching of the snow beneath your boots is not nearly quiet enough. So what do the four of you discuss? You have a plan of action, I assume.
Grimm, you said you had something in mind?
Not a whole lot. Especially learning that if we just take out the abbot, his creations are probably going to come down and just decimate this village. Because my first plan was just to kind of see if we could sneak in as much as we can and just take out the abbot, but that kind of seems off the table right now.
It sounds like they have a small army up there, so I'm not sure if we can kick down the door and take them all. But I'm willing to try if people want to do that.
How many mongrels are up there?
Think there's like at least 90.
You estimate. You guys estimate at least a score of them, yeah.
And also thinking, so the abbot looks to be a human. He's been around for centuries, hasn't aged, and he's making a bride for Strahd. Do you think the abbot is a vampire?
I really don't know.
I mean, a vampire worshipping the sun deity doesn't sound like the best idea for them, but he also sounds crazy. So he very well could be.
Oh, he is, and he's a stickler for manners.
So I pull out the map and I put it down on the table. And I point out the tower not too far from Kresk. And I tell everybody, the Burgomaster said there was a crazy researcher that lived in this tower. Not too far from this village. I'm wondering if they're one and the same person.
And if he is that person and he's a vampire, it would also be logical for him to not stay in one spot for too long, and
Well, the
with what
Burgomaster...
everyone's
Oh, go ahead.
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry to interrupt.
Oh, I was just gonna say what the Burgomaster said was he doesn't really leave his place, so it could be that he doesn't want people to know what he looks like because he's not going to age as a vampire.
That is a possibility. I mean, the Burgomaster did say not everybody comes up to the Abbey anymore.
I don't know. It looks to me like the villagers here might forget things. Like they've been pulled from your mind or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're just drinking too much wine.
Or a little bit of both.
Maybe, but I haven't had any wine, and I kind of felt like I was gonna lose myself there just a little bit ago. I don't know if anyone can agree with me there.
Oh, you too?
So does anyone have a plan to try to solve the Abbott problem? Or is this more of a it's way too big for us to take care of, that we gotta just gotta say sorry to this village and move on?
Well, we could go explore the tower. That's an option. Or, my favorite option, I could get my big bunny feet, kick down the door, and we just take them all out.
So one plan is to leave and check out the tower. How long of a trip is to the tower?
I'd have to guesstimate maybe a day.
Can any of us do like survival checks to kind of figure that out?
Oh yeah.
I can.
Yeah, Warren can make a survival check. Maps are not you can all read a map and kind of gauge the topography and things of that sort, but Warren would have an easier time with the map. Actually, Warren can roll with advantage because you do have a map.
All right, so a 20 with after my advantage roll.
Okay, to get to the tower, it's about a day and a half. You figure it would be a day and a half. You would have to stop at least once in between. But it's better than nothing. Especially since the route has to take you up through the woods.
I am curious though, if we go and check out this tower, will the Burgomaster remember why we went up there in the first place when we come back? Like, will everything reset?
That's a good question. I did kind of notice he had a little bit of a memory lapse.
And would the abbot have the same thing happen to him or no? Because if the abbot has the same problem as the burgomaster, then it might be better to leave, figure out what's going on at the tower, then come back, because let's say it is a vampire. How do we make sure we kill the vampire that can't come back?
Does anybody know how to kill a vampire?
You stab them real hard, maybe.
Araza, you're trained in religion, correct?
Yes.
Jymbo, are you trained in religion?
I am not.
Okay. Grimm or Warren, just not that I'm making the assumption that you don't have it, but just for sake of asking around the table, are either of you trained in religion?
Nope.
No, but Araza, I got these potions from the abbot and he did some sort of like rite over them. And since you're now the only magical person in our vicinity, could you check them out and make sure that they are legit and that they are safe to drink?
Yes. I can check.
I'm not going to have you roll anything, Araza, because they are indeed health potions, and they are not tampered with. They are not tainted health potions.
What type of are they? Like the cure light wounds health potions?
Let me double check really quickly. They are greater healing. They are greater healing potions. So 5 potions of greater healing.
Ow. Do you want to
each
split
of
them
us-
up then?
I was just gonna say each of us would get one, but then the extra, what do we do with it?
You could put in the bag of holding.
That's up to you guys what you decide to do with your potions.
Yeah, I'd say throw it in the bag of holding.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
And they were cure light?
Graders. They were greater healings. Yes. All right. So you guys divvy out your potions, and so what's the plan? Where are you headed?
Did we figure out how we had to kill the vampire?
Oh, so Araza didn't get to roll her religion check yet.
It's a 16.
16. Standard ways to dispatch a vampire. Exposure to direct sunlight. Stake through the heart, but stake through the heart only sends them into torpor, which means that they go immobile. They are unable to heal unless they are back in their place of rest, and you have to decapitate them. So removal of the head and direct sunlight are the only ways to truly kill a vampire.
Jim, I got a question.
Yes.
I have the light cantrip. That does not count as like sunlight, right?
It does not. It does not.
Okay.
The spell daylight, yes, but light, no. Light is just like you turn on a flashlight or something like that. Like,
Okay.
although I think it'd be funny if like you just flash the flashlight in a vampire's face and it just irritates him to the point where he leaves. But but yeah, beyond that, those are the only ways that Araza knows to kill a vampire. Garlic will repel vampires. Running water they can't cross. That's it.
Are we positive if the abbot is out of the picture that his creations aren't just going to like keel over and die because the abbot was using magic to keep them alive?
From what he had strangely admitted to me, is that he's trying to somewhat rehabilitate them again. Manners. He's all about manners. He was so but he pretty much said in no uncertain terms that he's keeping them at bay. Though I think if I don't know if we'd be convincing enough to like just get them to leave and just never come back and they can fend for themselves out in the woods with the wolves and the werewolves at this point.
Or if we have a way of, because correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't I in the one area in the building, that's where 90% of all the creatures were located, right? Or were they like all about the facility?
So where you were was only one wing of the entire abbey. So you're assuming that there is more, but you saw a great many. You saw a great many in that area where you were. Some
Okay.
of the areas where you had like crept around didn't have a window, but you could definitely hear like even through the stone walls that there was something going on in there. So you aren't able where you traveled to, you weren't able to discern exactly the right amount of number and how many are in like this section of the building, but you know that a lot of them are kept in that portion of the building.
I don't know if maybe we could like be able to cave the building in on itself. If that might help and just kind of bury the problem a little bit.
I don't know, that building looks very sturdy.
Yeah. Or we could go with your idea with get rid of the abbot, see if we could convince them to just leave and go into the woods. The ones that don't want to leave, we might just have to um, deal with and take out. But even if, let's say, there's 90 of them, if half of them leave, that does give us a better fighting chance to take out all of them and survive.
Well, some of those mongrels can fly, right?
They fly.
Yeah. There's a bat one that they keep chained up. They fight each other. They do
That
fight
might
each
be
other.
to our advantage.
Yeah, what is the chances if we do kill the abbot that they turn on each other?
If you're trying to determine how the possibility of them turning on one another, from what Warren has witnessed and what Grimm has observed, um, between the two of their assessments, it's hard to say. These are very unpredictable creatures. They are very unpredictable. They're more. It seems like they work on like an animal instinct most of the time, and they have like the basic hint of human intelligence. Some of them can talk, others can't.
They are very pathetic and miserable.
I have an idea. What if we say we take out the abbot, we barred up all the doors so that we're forcing all the creatures to either come out one window or one door, and so we basically make a choke point that they have to try come through, and we could try like it's going to force them to limit themselves on how many that could come at us at once, so we're not just going to end up getting surrounded.
You want to fight off possibly over 90, like filtering like that, and some could still escape to the town. These people can't fend for themselves. They won't fend for themselves. They don't know how to.
Well, again, the village is more like a commune than a village. They don't make their own things here.
Exactly. Plus, with the wall, it's going to be like fish in a barrel.
Yeah, well, I was more of blocking off as much as it can, so we could try to talk to him and have him leave, but
They're not going to
going
listen. They're not going to listen. The one that I tried talking to, she got mad at me just by looking at her. I don't think we're going to get anything across to them.
Yeah.
What about this tower? Even if he is not from this tower, if there is another researcher there, they might shed some light on where we can go with this situation.
That's what
Or
I was
they might
thinking too.
be able to provide us with ideas of how to handle the mongrels. Or maybe they even know the abbot. Who knows?
If he even is an abbot, who he claims to be.
True. The mysterious man, the researcher. Did people tell you, like, was he like scary researcher or just like an oddball researcher?
Burgomaster didn't really go into much detail about him. Or her, or they. Just said that the tower belongs to a mad researcher. I didn't think to ask any more questions.
Okay, what if we go to the researcher, see what he does? Maybe he just likes researching weird things like fungus or stuff like that, and
Or
maybe take take out the abbot and have the researcher replace the abbot and control the Mongols to research on them, and maybe not be someone that's going to dig up more bodies and put other people together.
he could just be a very angry researcher. We never know.
Yeah, and then maybe we could just
Do you think the Burgermeister, how his reaction would be if we're like, hey, we got rid of the abbot who was crazy and we replaced him with another crazy guy. Bye.
one, depending on how crazy the researcher is, it could be he's not really super crazy, and he's a lot better than digging up dead bodies and putting them together and having them walk around and scream all the time.
I mean, I'm pretty sure the Burgomaster has known something's been going on at the Abbey and just chooses to ignore it.
Oh, judging from everyone's reaction when you guys mentioned all that, it was clear that they are aware bad things are going on and they want nothing to do with it.
Yeah, but now that the Burgermeister knows that his dead son is at risk, I think it'll be at the forefront of his memory.
I mean, if he remembers.
I think they might have found out what's going on, as like they said, the abbot hasn't left in a while. They found out what was going on. The abbot stayed away. The entire village forgets what happened, and then the abbot goes and starts doing what he's been doing again until they figure it out. He hides away again. They forget, and he just keeps going with that.
That's a possibility, so I guess we'll have to see if the Burgermeister remembers when we meet up with him again to discuss this.
So, oh, sorry. You go.
I was just going to say, let's at least check out the researcher's tower, go from there, but we should also wait for the Burgermeister to come back.
I
Yeah, I would
agree.
say wait for the Burgomaster. He could not want us to do anything because he's scared that if we do anything to the abbot, he's just going to open up the doors and let all the creatures out and just decimate the village. He might be like, yes, we're going to lose some of our dead to weird creatures, but as long as he doesn't attack us, we're just going to let him stay in his palace and just let bygones be bygones.
So, as you're all discussing this, I assume that you're inside, or are you still talking about this outside? Because some of you have been outside this entire time. That's okay. That's just a small meta moment. As you're doing this, you see the figure of the young man from the coffin maker's little building. He makes his way up to you, and he's got a letter in his hand. He looks around, and the first person he sees is Araza, and he passes the letter off to you, and he waves, and then he runs back towards the village.
I open the letter.
You break the wax seal of the Burgomaster from the letter itself, and in the letter it reads. It is very, very simple. The script itself is very shaky, as if written by someone who has been through some form of trauma or traumatic event. And Araza, you can note that there are teardrops on the page itself, but it says, "Friends, do what you want. Dmitry Krezkov."
I read the letter out loud. So, do we want to let the Burgermeister know what we're planning on doing, or do we just want to do it?
I say we just do it. I don't think he wants to know. Hence, he told us to do what we want.
Warren,
I
Grimm?
got a question for the GM.
Okay.
Is there any photos of the family that used to live in this house that we're staying in now?
Oh yeah.
Do the photos of the family members resemble any of the creatures that we saw?
The creatures that you saw these amalgamations of flesh, these bastardizations of humanity. The portions and pieces are not. Let's put it this way: the only way you would recognize them is from faces, because most portraits you're clothed. None of these portraits show like full arms or legs or anything of that sort. So it's not very discernible based upon portraits themselves. And from what you've seen of the creatures' faces, both Warren and Grimm, they don't look to resemble anyone from the Vladova home.
What about the mismatched maiden?
No, neither. Again, nothing facially discernible links them to what you saw at the Abbey.
Yeah, it just kind of sounded familiar-ish to me that it's like his family left and no one knows where they are. Then he leaves with like no trace. I'm just curious, maybe they figured out what was going on, and that Abbott killed them and taken them to add to his parts bin, and that's why no one has seen them or saw a trace of them.
I mean, that's a good thought. That's a very relevant thought, that the family that lived here, when they went to go visit Valaki, if they got waylaid on the road. But from descriptions, the family was torn apart and eaten by wolves. So there was.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that part.
Yeah, there wasn't much left for them to if they were piecemealed into a flesh Frankenstein creature, it's probably to patch another piece of flesh. There's not enough. There's not enough giblets to go around. But yeah, that would probably be the biggest impossibility. Like that the family here would have been.
About that part.
No, it's all right. It's all right. Good, like I said, it's a good thought. It's like, well, maybe. But yeah, so are you guys going to tell the Burgomaster what your plan is, or I guess the GM to the players, is your plan to go to the Abbey, or is your plan to go to the tower?
I mean, the Burgomaster's letter did just say, do whatever you want, and there's no point in going back to him and telling him our plan because, one, he's distraught. I don't think he wants any company, hence the letter. So I'm in vote for checking out the research tower. Maybe there's some sort of connection or an answer.
I second the research tower.
I third, because even if we leave this place, it's not like anything major is going to change anytime soon.
Yeah, I say go to researcher. We are way too outnumbered, and there's way too many what ifs to go after that Abbey right now.
So the four of you decide to set out and head towards the researcher's tower. I assume that you hitch up your horse and your wagon, or are you going to go on foot?
I think we should take the wagon.
Yeah, I agree.
And maybe we could grab some of the sheets or blankets from the beds here and build maybe like a little tarp or covering for the wagon, so when we want to sleep, if it rains or anything like that, we have some covering.
You could. Warren is proficient with carpentry tools and could probably fashion something like that. The only thing is that the blankets and whatnot inside this home are not like weather resistant, like a tarp would be, not like a canvas cover for a wagon. So eventually they would get musty and mildewy. But it's something you could do, 100%.
And they don't really have a place that we could buy canvas from.
Nope.
In this village, right?
Nope. Again, even if you asked around, they would say you would have to go to Valaki or Barovia, and they would likely have something. But here they don't. They deal in trade. It's a commune.
I mean, I have a bedroll. I'm fine.
Me too.
Yeah, I have a
Same.
bedroll too. And maybe we get lucky when we get to the research tower that they might have some canvas that we could take.
Yeah, maybe he's researching new forms of canvas.
Could be.
Yeah.
Don't know till you get there.
Made of human flesh.
No, the flesh canvas. Oh, we're back to this. No, it's
Well, it is water resistant.
It is. So the four of you hitch up the wagon with your Clydesdale horse, and go on.
No, just here comes Tom.
And you head out. You venture down the road. A familiar one to you at this point. The mists themselves have not relented at all. They continue to kind of line the path, as it were. You still make out the faint details of trees, rocks, things of that nature as you travel along. Going back almost in the same direction as the Wizard of Wine's winery along the old Svalich Road. Araza, can you roll me a d12, please?
D12.
Mm-hmm.
GM, when we found out that it'll take like a day and a half, was
Yes.
that with walking or with a wagon?
That is with a wagon, because there is not
Okay.
there's not the it doesn't look like there's much of a beaten path towards the tower itself, so the wagon's gonna struggle just a little bit, but it can still make it. It's just gonna go through the woods a little ways.
Okay.
And what'd you get, Araza? An 8?
An 8, yes.
Okay. Let's see. We are heading towards. All right, wonderful. You come to one of the many crossroads. Namely the crossroad that crosses over the Raven River. And you see the familiar signs of the roads in which you've taken to go towards the south, towards the winery. See the Weathermorton signpost next to the road. The three arms of the sign point along 3 branches of the road. The arm pointing north reads Kresk, where you've just come from. And through the woods, you can see the arching stone bridge spanning the river. The arm pointing east reads Valaki, and the road slopes up gradually in that direction. And the arm pointing southwest reads the Wizard of the Wines. The road slopes gently downward in that direction. But you find yourselves at the crossroads, and the road itself, again, there is a small path that you can faintly see that heads north. Not to Kresk, but towards Lake Bartok. As you or do you go up that way, or do you think better of it and go elsewhere?
So which crossroads are we at again?
You
The
are
one just after the river?
Yes, the one just after the river. You see where the crossroad splits. To the south from where you are, that would take you to the winery again. You're familiar with that road.
Mm-hmm.
Going forward along the road towards Valaki, along the Svalich road, you see the little dotted lines that lead up. That's the unbeaten path towards the lake is where you're at. So that's where you guys are currently. That
Who
first
on the team can read a map?
that would be Warren. I mean, you can all read a map. You can all read a map. You can discern this stuff here. But Warren can tell, like, oh, it's about this. They're going to be this many days, this amount of time, and things like that.
Yeah,
Well, everybody looking at the map, it looks like we do need to take the off the beaten path route to get to the tower.
what time of day does it look like?
Well, you guys had breakfast. Some of you guys had breakfast. You departed, so it is getting to be like almost nighttime. It is almost nighttime at this point.
Let's maybe spend the night on the beaten path, because less likely a creature might want to run out onto a beaten path, and then fresh in the morning we could go up on the unbeaten path that we might run into some wild animals when we got a whole day instead of going run into wild animals at night.
Makes sense.
Sounds good.
So I guess we need to find a nice place to rest for the night.
Okay. You guys camp off to the side of the road, within a small little copse of trees, just for safety's sake, knowing that something is at your backs as opposed to something at your throats. And you nestle in. And you guys, I assume you set up watches and things of that sort. Who's doing first watch?
I'll take first watch.
Okay. Grimm, are you taking a watch, or are you going to rest through the night?
I'll take the second watch.
Okay. Jymbo?
I can double up on the second watch.
Okay. And then Warren, I assume you're going to take last watch, or are you just taking what's given?
I'll take the last watch.
Okay. All right. I need Grimm and Jymbo to roll me a d12.
D12. I got a 3.
Okay. Jymbo?
It didn't tell me what I got.
It didn't hold up.
It
I
might
thought I
be
saw
in the
it
chat.
too.
That's a 2. It says 2.
Okay, it didn't show me on this screen.
All right, and that means that Warren. So, Jymbo, you double up on your watch with Grimm, and the two of you wake up Warren to resume watch through the rest of the night and into the dawnlight hours. Warren, you're surveying the camp, watching things carefully. And as you do, give me a moment. Sorry. It's not letting me erase this. So that's technically the fire. That's going to technically be the fire for right now. Warren, you find yourself getting lost in the ambient sounds of the area itself. There's an unsettling wail that carries across the air, almost like the cries of a lost soul. And it continues for a while. What do you do?
I'm gonna. Who all is like near me in the camp?
I mean, you guys are kind of all together. You're if you're looking for like who's closest, who would be sleeping closest to Warren at this point? If you guys are all using your bedrolls.
Oh, so should we all sit up around the fire?
Yeah, that's kind of what I assume. So yeah, set yourselves up around the fire.
And where do we have Tom hitched up for camp?
Probably this tree up here. I should drop Tom on there.
I'm gonna make my way over to Tom and like see how he's doing.
Tom looks unsettled. He looks like almost panicked, but he's not making a lot of noise ruckus. But he's just and he's stamping his hoof every now and again.
You know, I'll go over and I'll try to, keep him calm a bit.
Okay.
Just let him know that there's a familiar face.
Okay. You notice that as you are camping, you hear thunder or something akin to thunder. And you look up at the sky, and even though it's dark, you're not seeing much in terms of like storm clouds and things of that nature.
Does the air kind of feel like there's a storm coming? Like, you know how you might smell like some ozone or things just kind of feel like Like you feel the moisture in the air if there's a storm coming.
Yeah, you don't feel any of that. And eventually, as you're checking on Tom, he rears back, and in your surprise, he unhitches from the tree and bolts off somewhere. He bolts off
Damn
this way.
it.
Whoop. And just out and gone.
Damn it.
You can go after him if you want.
I'm at least going to alert the party that Tom bolted off.
Okay. You're all awoken as the horse is gone from what Warren tells you.
Was it horse rustlers?
No, I heard some. You hear that?
Ghost horse rustlers.
And then there was some thunder, and I tried to calm down Tom, and he got loose somehow, and he bolted that away. So I don't know if we should.
I think something just ate Tom.
So what do you do?
By any chance, did we all get a long rest or no?
No.
Okay.
Well, okay, if we're talking about like achieving a long rest from when you spent the time at the Abbey, then yes, from the time of the Abbey to now, there was a long rest given. But if we're talking about, are we getting a long rest through the night? No, you've been woken up in the middle of the night. So you've achieved one long rest, so you do have spells and abilities back if you've spent them.
Okay.
I assume that's what the question was for.
Yes.
Okay. You're good.
Can I do a perception check to see if I could see anything?
Yeah, go ahead.
24.
24. From what you can see and hear, there along the narrow path, the fog itself doesn't seem as thick. It's because the trees are tightly closed in. And those trees themselves seem to like groan and whisper, and the ground is uneven. You hear more of the wailing. And as you glance out, you see that there are remains of animals and humanoids and other such things that look to have been savagely torn apart. You hear Tom. You hear him, and he's neighing, and meanwhile, you hear another roar from something. And heavy thudding footsteps.
I mean, towards
so
us
that
or
wasn't-
away?
So that wasn't thunder.
No, not coming towards you, no. But it's out there. It's close. Whatever it is, it's close and getting closer.
I mean, at this point, we can still save Tom.
Mm-hmm.
I think we could try save Tom, depending on how far he went. Should probably put out the fire. Try save Tom if we can save Tom and he's not too far. Come back, get the wagon, and just continue on. And hopefully we just stay out of sight of whatever's making that giant noise.
I say we keep the fire going. At this point, we don't know if it's like afraid of the fire.
Correct.
That and we lose light too. Going from like partial light then to darkness, that'll mess up our eyes. And I don't think any of us here have dark vision.
I do.
I have dark vision.
I eat carrots, but my eyes aren't that strong.
I love it.
I'm just, even if it's, I kind of highly doubt it's scared of fire when it's able to shake the ground as it walks and making that giant noise. I'm just nervous with the fire. It sees the bright light and it's going to be drawn towards it.
I mean, it probably would smell us or at this point hear us because we're not being super subtle.
Let's try to find Tom. If we can't find him right away, we might lose him. But maybe we keep the fire going as we try to find Tom, and maybe that giant creature goes to the fire. And if it goes to the fire, we just don't come back to the fire. We stay kind of hidden and wait for it to pass.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I was just gonna ask. It's like, so what's everybody doing?
So in the time we've been talking, how much further away has Tom gotten away?
Tom continues to get further and further away the more you guys talk. He's run off into the woods along some path, and he might be running through the trees and into danger. The fog is dangerous. You guys know this.
Let's leave the fire and go after Tom. Hopefully we could get him and then get him back to the wagon so we will still have the wagon.
Okay. So you guys take after your horse. You head up along a small path. There's a clearing. And this clearing, the ground is, again, littered with remains. And in the center is a large pit filled with bones. Surrounded by stone spires, most of them broken, some of them still miraculously standing as they've overcome the test of time. And emerging from the fog to the northernmost portion of this area, a massive creature covered in dark, matted fur. Its eyes are wild, and in its hand, it clutches a lifeless humanoid in its claws, and it shakes the body as if it were a toy. And as you pass through the area of trees, the creature's eyes narrow on you for a moment, and you see Tom, who has been evading this creature by running around these spires and in between them and keeping it from gobbling him up. The creature narrows on you, and upon seeing you, tosses the body to the side and roars at you. I need you guys to roll initiative for me, please.
25.
Okay.
Jesus.
Dang.
I got 13.
All right. 13 for Grimm.
2.
2? Araza? 2?
Yeah, I rolled a 3 and I have a -1 to my dex.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Warren.
It's okay. I'm the one who made the character.
It's storming where I'm at, and stuff is acting really wonky for me. Like Roll20 and D&D Beyond went white screen for a bit.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, and I went to roll my initiative, and nothing came up on D&D Beyond. But I
Okay.
see there's like stuff in the chat, so I don't know if
Let me double check to see if yours popped up in there. It did. It rolled it for you 3 times. It rolled.
I'll do the first one.
The first
I'll
one?
do the first one. Yeah,
Okay. That's a 9. So.
that's fine.
All right.
Yeah, stuff's acting weird for me. And it is thundering and all this. It's wonderful.
It's thematic. How cool is that?
I need my brown pants.
I need my brown pants. Alrighty. So. Oh boy. Okay. So. The initiative order goes Jymbo, the creature, Grimm, Warren, and then Araza. Question though, Val, since you're in a stormy area, would we be okay stopping here and then picking up the fight next time, guys? Or just for safety's sake, because if we disconnect, I don't know if Val's gonna be able to hop back on with us or anything like that. Is that okay, or should we try to continue?
I'm totally cool stopping here if Val's internet is unstable.
Either way's fine for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. Well, I mean, this gives us something to look forward to next week. A big fight with an even bigger monster. So tell you what, for safety's sake, for both technology purposes and whatnot, Val and I are in the same state. So if she's getting storms, that chances are good that I'm going to get storms too. So that kind of worries me a little bit. But anyway, yeah, we'll pick up the fight with this creature next time. Again, I wanna thank my players for participating tonight and hanging out with us, and I want to thank everyone for the raids and the follows. Hopefully you guys enjoyed yourselves. I'll make it up to you next session with a big old monster fight. How's that sound? Does that sound fun?
Yes.
Yay.
I want to know what kind of monster this is.
Yeah.
All right. Well, players, thank you so much. I can't do this without you. And as far as we know, does anything interfere with next Friday the 13th?
That's a perfect day to fight a
How
monster.
appropriate.
I know.
Yeah.
And for those who are in chat, hanging out in chat, we will be doing our dice giveaway. So that is the day of the dice giveaway too. So you guys get to fight a big old monster on Friday the 13th, and we're gonna give away dice on Friday the 13th. Again, they are the dice done by Never Tilted. Let me show you guys there. That is the sample of the dice that we'll be giving away. You don't have to be present in stream, but you do, in order to enter the giveaway, it will be done during the intermission. It'll be done during the intermission, where you can sign up. I'm exempt from it. My players, you can enter into it too. And anyone in chat can enter. It is going to be a full dice set. That is just a sample of what it is, and they are called the Blood of Barovia dice. It is so fitting for this game. Never Tilted has done an amazing job. Let me give him a quick shout out here so you guys can check out his collectible stuff. And if you use my code RedWolf15, you get 15% off of your orders through his website. But yeah, it's really cool. You guys just have to be there through the intermission to enter. You don't have to be present after you enter, but just make sure that you, if you win, I'll announce the winners at the end of the stream, and if you win, watch the VOD, and we'll reach out to you. We'll find a way to reach out to you through that, so that way we can get you the reward. Let's put it that way. Is it a link? It will be a link. It will be a link. It'll be basically like you enter a command like !enter in chat, and then you'll be able to enter into it, but it's not going to be active until that day. So you can't pre-enter because it won't be active until intermission of the 13th. So, but yeah, I want to thank my players for playing, and beyond that, I'm going to go ahead and mute Discord. I'm going to do my streamer thing and get out of here, guys. Again, thank you to Star Kitty, Austin, Goldie, Val. Thank you all so much for... it was a very RP heavy session tonight, but I enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys did too.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. And a little mystery to it too.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and mute Discord for you guys, and then we're going to raid out to somebody, and if you have a suggestion for a raid, put it in chat there, and we'll go from there. But I'm gonna mute you guys.
Bye, chat.
Say bye, everybody. Bye, everybody.
Bye, chat.
Hi, everybody.
All right, chat. Thank you so much. We're gonna find someone to raid out to and spread the love. I want to thank everybody for the new follows. Again, Caffeinated Zombie, thank you so much. Druid, thank you so much. Sunshine, thank you. Who we gotta raid into? So this is always the hard part for me. So I never know who to raid into, but we'll find somebody. Ryuji, thank you for the 100 bits. I really appreciate it. Let's see. My friend Howie is playing Lord of the Rings. They're playing the Lord of the Rings Mines of Moria. Hold on. That's the new one. Return to Moria. So that's fantastic. So we're going to go drop in on Howie. Howie is a punk hyena VTuber. Pronouns are they, them. So please be respectful because they are a very good friend of the channel. And I would expect the same courtesy. So we're going to go drop in with a good old-fashioned Viking raid. If you don't have my emotes, use whatever emote you have. Just be polite, read the room, and as always, remember, please be polite to the streamer we're about to drop in on. They might be in the middle of something and may not be able to respond to us right away. I'm sure they'll get to us if they can when they can. If you like the streamer's content, please give them a follow. If you really like their content, give them a subscribe. You're not required to do either, but do remember, a follow is free. All right, so we're going to raid into Howie. Give them some love, and I will be back. I might be streaming tomorrow night. I don't know, but since I still have the Dungeon and Donathons going on, we will continue on with that. So yeah, I'm gonna stream tomorrow. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm streaming tomorrow. So as always, friends, please stay safe, eat well, stay hydrated, and I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.